Sorry about your eardrums. Second thing, by the time I upload this, it's probably gonna be like months down the line. For that, I'm sorry. I just want to go in like a kind of like a little bit of an order. I've just been munching on a couple of Crispies that my family left, and those ones, you know. Anyway, I expressed in the reel or the short. I don't know. Is it short? Short on YouTube. Yeah, I expressed in the short how proud I am of myself. Do you know why? Because I've always struggled with my money spending habits, and I think sometimes that's hard to admit. Like, it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, especially as an adult. Like. Yeah, anyway, when I was young, just for a little backstory, when I first started making money, I was brilliant at saving it. I was very like, I love to gift my parents for their anniversary and their birthdays. And so I would always have these goals in mind, and I would do anything and everything possible to save up to treat my parents. And I don't know where that came from, but I learned a lot and I was very good at it. Myself and my younger sister, I managed to boss her around enough and we managed to give them some really lovely like meals and stuff like that over the years. This was like when I was like a teen, and I was also very discerning. Like, I'd be out with my mom and she'd be like, what do you like feel like getting, or do you want to get that? And I would just be like, oh, I don't need it. I was very good as a kid. As I started to make more money, a lot of us, we know what that is. You know, when you get that sort of inflation where you're like, oh, I make this much, therefore I can afford to spend this much. And I really struggled with that. And I don't even know how to describe it. I think it's just, I don't know, I think I need to reflect more before I can actually probably talk about it, like where that comes from, because I only feel like recently I'm starting to break out of it. But let's just say that this shop, I feel so proud because it made me feel like I can count on myself. It made me feel like maybe I'm gonna be okay. You know, maybe I can figure this out. And I think I've been telling myself this narrative that, oh, if you're a gym person and you're non-veg and you eat high protein, that it's just inherently going to be super expensive. I found that I've sort of managed to find a way around it. Not that it's not more expensive than eating veg, but I've actually managed to figure it out. And I wanted to share that with you guys today. I'm probably going to come out with a part 2 video, maybe where I'm mic'd up and I'm actually talking you through the different things that I did or have done to survive this mini era of not being able to afford shit. Whew, it is a little bit rough, I'm not gonna lie, but this is where the character building happens, and yeah, let's get into it. So, to summarize, I needed food for like 11-12 days. One of the things I did was I kind of outlined what that would look like. I've always been a meal, well, not always, since last year, since I started my main like gym body transformation stuff, I have been very into meal prepping. So I will meal prep like a week and a half, 2 weeks in advance and know what I'm having. So one big tip that I would give you guys is let's plan shit out. What do you know you're definitely going to need? I picked up oats like a couple weeks back because I knew that that is a regular that I will need every day. We could all sit here and lie to ourselves and say, it's fine, I just won't eat. I just want to... Bitch, be for real. If you're on your period, especially, if you're a woman, a person that has hormones, if you're just a hungry ass motherfucker, please, let's not lie. Just admit, you're going to need the oats, whatever your equivalent is. I'm not able to afford frozen berries anymore. Frozen berries are a luxury. Like, you really realize like how much is a luxury and how much you got to make things work and make a little go a long way. And one thing I forgot to mention in the short, so the short that I probably attached to this video or vice versa, what I forgot to mention, this whole procedure, I kind of liked it. I was like, what's up with that? Do I like suffering? Do I like being broke? And I realized I don't like being broke. I like understanding the value of money. I like the feeling of figuring things out. I like the feeling of knowing that I can take care of myself and that I'm earning shit. That is what I like. And if I look at my life, it's kind of a metaphor, but I never liked it when my parents just handed me things. I've never liked it, even if a thought was kind of, not necessarily imposed, but like when my parents were like, do this just because. I can't accept it. I like to know what's coming from me. And even when I failed with my previous degree, part of me was excited because I was like, well, now I get to build from scratch. I get to see what I'm made of without people handing me shit. And maybe that's kind of psychotic because it's like, listen, honey, you've got privileges, use them, don't be fucking stupid. But to be honest, I really just felt like the rich kid in some ways. I'm not a rich kid, just to be clear. My parents are like very regular middle class, and they worked very hard, and they continue to work very hard. We didn't have loads growing up. So yeah, I mean, even things like getting fancier crisps, that wasn't something we did till like the past 5 or so years. So, you know, it's a dumb example, but yeah. So, but in many ways, I think because my parents, I'm not going to go into their stories too much, but because they didn't have so much growing up, they overcompensated, which obviously it has the best of intentions, but they effectively gave us the fish. They didn't teach us how to fish. My mom has tried a bit more, but my dad wasn't conscious of that, and so I felt very princessy growing up. I got a job of my own accord, of my own desire to work, but if I didn't want to, I didn't have to. And you know, it's a very positive, nice thing, but I think that when you are handed things, whoever you are, if you're raised like that, even if your parents have the best of intentions, you don't grow up understanding the value of certain things until you don't have those things anymore. And so what I like is the feeling of being able to respect myself. And so does this mean I want to stay broke? No. But does it mean that I really want to embed this lesson now and today and for good? Yes. Because sorry, the hot water was heating. Now I just realized it's quiet. Yeah, I don't, now knowing what this feeling is, this feeling of pride and self-esteem and, oh, maybe I can adult a little bit, you know, like I managed to get a week and a half's worth of food that's high protein for myself, like in 24 pounds something. Like I did that in under 24 pounds. Like that is a win for me, because normally I'd be spending like 25 to 30 every 4 to 5 days. I'm very talented like that. You give me money, you give me dessert, you give me honey. I'm Venusian ruled. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but your girl could spend. Speaking of, actually, I was walking past some designer shops yesterday, and I realized how they don't exactly appeal to me. That's a total side note. But like, I thought about it. I was like, if I was rich, like rich, I'd buy, like, not that I would avoid designer stuff, but it wouldn't be where my mind and money would first go. I would be like courses, just more of what I already do. Shame on me. Courses, tutoring. Yeah, it was just a thought. But what good is it, right, if you can't actually see and work with the abundance you have right now? Without further ado, so like I said, I got the oats. I have whey protein already, so that was a previous purchase by My Protein, not sponsored yet. So that would be my breakfast. Then lunch, or what I do on my work days, is I have yogurt with a scoop of whey and a slice of banana. Now I can't afford the bananas right now, is what it is. This is where I was gonna get phage, and that's the thing I shared in the short/reel, so I'm not gonna go into that again, but if you're interested, phage, you know, the yogurt, the big tub, right? I found an alternative, honey bunny. Tesco. Shout out to my dad for saying, go to Tesco, it's cheaper than Sainsbury's. I used to be a Sainsbury's shopper. Now I am converted. I was looking for a cheap source of protein. We've got 3 meals, okay? This is really random. I get late night cravings as well. I don't know if anyone else gets this. I get late night cravings. Do I give in to them? No, because I could literally eat anything at that time. But sometimes the fantasy lasts for a little while. And one of those weird ass things was macaroni and cheese. And also, when you're like a healthy person, not super healthy, let's be real, but when you're like, you stick to the same stuff, you know, you realize, and you're raised on other stuff, you realize how much you're like kind of missing out in some ways. Like at some times, I don't just sit and eat macaroni and cheese. Like that's not something that I would do, but I was like, I'm really craving it. Now I can't fucking afford loads of macaroni and cheese. And then I was like, how much cheese would I need to make a cheese sauce? And then I was like, oh, you know what's really random? You know those like little sachet pastas? I want to try it. I've never tried it. I've had Maggi growing up, Maggi noodles. I don't know if any of my Asians know about it. I'm sure like the West must know about it too. Maggi is iconic, baby. I grew up on some of that. My mom would always do some like a little bit of egg and like frozen veg, but she'd put some onions and jazz it up. Don't diss it till you tried it. And sometimes my sister as well, a little cheese on top. But anyway, side note, Pot noodles, couldn't get into them. So salty, I would bloat like an insane person. So I'm kind of hesitant, but that's gonna be my dinner tonight because I was like, let me just itch that scratch. So we got that. This is the yogurt substitute from Tesco's. Okay, I'm gonna bring out the receipt. Did I get the receipt? Hold on. I did get the receipt, thank God. So nowadays I've been throwing my receipts away because every single day to manage my finances, because I've been trying to get better at that, I write it into my Excel spreadsheet. But I actually think I actually want to keep it because I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so this is I was looking around for it. This is the thing I got. I mean, I'm gonna try it, so I hope it's nice. I hope it's not ridiculously salty and just bland, and I'm a bit nervous. But I'm like, if Maggie's good, maybe this is also okay. But I guess we'll see. So that I got. This was, do you know what? This is actually so exciting to me. It feels like a haul. This is 80p. So I was like, okay, is it the most sensible thing? No, but we're itching that scratch. Let's go for it, okay? Then, honey bunny, let's see. I was also, another one of my cravings was South Indian fish curry. Don't ask me why. My quarter carat light side was coming out. I don't even know. I've never cooked it. I've never made it. I mostly eat the same thing nowadays, which is going to be my chicken beef thing that I'm going to upload. I think will I upload it before? Actually, I might upload this first because I'm filming this first. But my regular meals are like this chicken beef situation that I came up with. So I came up with this, nothing unique. But anyway, I was really craving this fish thing. So I just Googled it and I was like, oh, that's so straightforward. It's just a regular turka and then mustard seeds and then coconut milk. Lord fucking knows what the calories are. But I got the cheapest white fish. You go to the frozen section, you can find cheap meat. That's another hack, baby cakes. Oh, another hack before I forget. The sides of the aisles are more expensive. They have the branded shit. Go in, look to the bottom, look to the top. Don't look eye level. I think most people know that one. But yeah, you gotta look. Like, I allocated time for this shop because I'm not used to actually looking for a goddamn fucking bargain. And when I tell you the trend was find the cheapest thing possible, find the cheapest thing possible and make it work, the way that saved me. The way I was able to get all of these things in 24. I'm so excited. Okay, this. I need to bang this in the freezer fast. It was, let's have a look. Fish fingers, £2.49p. For that. Mackerel fillets that I might get when I get fish. Oh, I love mackerel fillets. Pound something, £2 from Sainsbury's, but you'll get 2 pieces. Here I was thinking when I make my fish curry, there's not going to be a lot in it. So I was like, oh, I'll get eggs as well. Then I can have fish and egg. South Indian curry. Girl, don't ask. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. But how much fish curry you think I'm gonna get? Oh! And then I live with my Asian parents, so there's basmati rice. So we're chilling in that sense. Do I eat rice? No, guys, I don't. This is a form of adaptation. Don't ask. But it's like, well, bitch, the calories are gonna be fine at the end of the day because I can't afford to get the extra desserts that I would be buying normally as well. So anyway, that's a side note. Whatever. Uske baad kya liya? So that's gonna last me like 4 days. I need another set of meal prep. 4 days, 4 días. I have oats. And then I was like, I'm gonna need something for lunch just in case I don't wake up super late and have just 2 meals. I'm gonna need something for lunch. Normally, what I would do is soup and eggs or soup and tuna. That can be a little expensive. Even cheapest soup is like £1 something. All right. What did I do? Pasta. I don't eat pasta, guys. Calorie-wise, I'll be honest, I don't know what's going to come out to be. But I was like, let's just look for the protein. Let's just look to be full because I'm not going to have money to buy some snacks. So, cutter, this, that, and the other, eating all my parents' food, please, yaar. So, मैंने क्या लिया? Macaroni, cheap wala. First, I picked up something that was like £1. This, honey bunny. ये कितना का था? We are looking at... Girl, where you at? Oh my God, did I buy it? Yeah, 72p. There's a difference. You got to look. 500 grams, 72p. Protein, a little bit low in this, but I was like, I just want the shakes as well. So we won there. And then I was like, okay, I need protein with that. What's some cheap protein I can mix in? I literally Googled, like you just have to look, man. You have to look, you have to look, you have to look. Bottom shelf, baby. Thank you. Shukriya, Tesco. Whip out your calculator. That's another tip. You are going to want to know how much money you have to work with, what exactly you're looking for, you know, to an extent. Like, I knew the outlines. Like, I'm looking for something to keep me full for lunch for like 4 days. It's gonna need to have some protein. We're gonna need some veg. What's the veg situation? So I was like, let's get the protein first. 3 cans because I just need lunch for 3 days. 55p each. Tuna baby. Then we needed a sauce. Cheapy. Go for the store. Do I know if this is fucking healthy? I don't know. Then I was like, ooh, a little cheese couldn't hurt. Now the cheese equation, let's quickly talk about that. Oh, I forgot to mention coconut milk. Found the cheap one. This one was like 60 something p, 69p. This coconut milk, it was like 60 something as well. Hold up. 75p, my bad. 75p. Pretty solid if you ask me. I don't even eat this type of shit regularly. I'm so here for it. And then I was like, ooh, little cheese moment, just in case it's really bloody bland. A little extra protein as well. Now this debacle. My parents have always said, my dad to be specific, because he loves a good deal. Block of cheese, grate it yourself, works out cheaper. Things were like looking at like £3, £2.79, Aldi price match, all of that stuff. And I was like, that's pretty solid. Okay, £2.79, valid. Went around the side, looked at the side. We saw the branded shit. We also saw the cheaper shit that was graded. Looked at this, £2.19. I was like, 250 grams, £2.19. We've got something that's 300 grams and £2.79. Now, in the long run, that's a better deal, right? But how did I solve this problem? I was like, I still got shit to buy. What's the objective we're trying to meet? Cheese for 3 days. Get the cheaper one. If it was like for 4 or 5 days, no problem. But it's like, I don't need that much cheese for that long. Get the cheaper one. It meets the objectives. You gotta look at what problem is more important to solve. Cheese for 3 days. Get the cheap shit. Boom. Next. Like I said, yogurt equation. This was, so how much? Yeah, I told you that much. Told you what that was. The Yao that we are looking at, 500 grams, 1.85p. 1 pound, sorry, 85p. You better not make this disappear off the shelf. 22 grams per serving apparently, and a serving is 200 grams. Per 100 grams, this has 11.3 grams of protein. Isn't that more than phage? How do you pronounce it? Phage? But I suppose that's more. You're welcome. Right, next. Cheapest frozen veg possible. I literally just walked up and down. There was something that was like £1.09p. I think that was the peas. We got this for 99p. I need to go and find a lot of space in the freezer. Right, next. Cheap protein source. Because the meal that we're looking for those 4 days we're having a pasta for lunch is going to be, what am I doing for the next few days? Sorry, oats is what I'm doing. I've got a soup in the fridge, so I'm going to be having that, and then I'm going to be doing my fish curry in the evening. So that's established. We're good in that sense. Then we're doing the oats, the pasta, and then I needed, what I was going to do was an Indian chicken. I've got all the Indian spices at home because I live at home. Just some, you can just, whatever, you've got protein, right? And I was going to do dal, again, sasta, my parents have that here, no problem, and chawal, which is rice, okay? Dal is lentils. 750 grams, pretty solid, and £4.50. 750. Sainsbury's is like, I think 600 and something grams, and like, I want to say 5 something. I don't know. I don't want to bitch on saying, you know, I don't want to, they've been great to me. They've been great to me. But this, yes. My dad had said to me, Tesco's are cheaper, but I was like looking at the beef prices online. I was like, oh no, my nectar gets me better. And I do want to give Sainsbury's a shout out there. Like, they've been good. Like in terms of beef, 5% fat, and chicken liver. I mean, to be honest, I didn't see the chicken liver here. Sugar-free Red Bull option, like in terms of the bigger pack, cheap dark chocolate, but I'll get into that in a second. So that's the chicken. Then I needed another protein source because we've got another 4 days when I'm at work. I was like, what can I do for dinner? Discount meat section, baby cakes, discount meat section. We looked through, I was like, I need most bang for buck when we're talking protein. I saw some sausages, but the protein content wasn't super high. It was cheap, but I was like, protein content isn't super high. Found these, baby. Oh, I also saw a massive chicken, you know, like a proper full chicken, which was like £5 something, and it was like a kilo and something. I was like, oh, we're actually getting a lot for little. And I've cooked a chicken before, believe it or not. I did do that for, I think it was like my parents' anniversary. I forced my sister to do it. It was a very weird process. We took a glove and we had to like shove our hand. It's a very, I put apple, it was the most amazing thing I think we ever made. She made cauliflower cheese. It was, oh my God, and honey glazed carrots. My sister is a chef, when I tell you. We're two together, the two of us combined. Like 10 years in the making, we're fantastic. Parents are lucky. Anyway, so I was like, I've cooked a chicken before, but then I was like, logistically, this much chicken, what would I use it for? I would use it for those first 4 days where I wanted the Indian chicken, and then I'd also want it for those 4 days when I was at work. And I was like, logistically, in terms of, okay, if I prep it all, then I need space in the freezer, and then I don't have space in the freezer, and then there's just a logistical hiccup there. I was like, that's not going to work. So I was like, I need something that I can cook once, have it ready, and just need to heat it once, maybe something like that. You know what? So I found these sugary maybe, but there's 4 of them. They are maple barbecue pork loin steaks. And also, when do I eat this type of meat? I eat the same meat all the time. Like, this is exciting. So we got this. Oh dear God, maths. 3 pounds. Oh, it says on the back, 2.92 pounds for 4 days of protein. And then, because the protein I think wasn't super high from what I remember. Bitch, why you cover it? Is that 1.8 grams? Are you for real? Hold on. No. Oh, that's better. 31.8. Shut up, really? Oh, that's really high. Well, that kind of works out. Here I was thinking I was going to have eggs, but... Oh, did I show you guys my eggs? Tesco, unbranded, 15 eggs. Guys, I am excited. Hold on. This is a sign of maturing. £2.15. I was thinking I'd do that, you know, with this, but I may not even need those. It's wonderful. And then I'm always looking for dark chocolate to have like melted with coconut oil on top of like something sweet if I want it, or just put a couple pieces in my oats if I fancy it. Couldn't find a cheap one in the baking section. Usually that's not the best spot to go. You want to go to the chocolate section, look all the way on the bottom aisle, and you'll find the cheap shit. This was 55p. 55p. And then last but not least, I always love to have a Kit Kat chunky at work. Something about the mouthfeel, like it hits the spot for me. And after all of this shopping, I just wandered over to that. I wandered further down and I managed to find these babies. Obviously not like a discount deal, but after everything, I managed to save enough money that I had enough money to get these to get me through the last 4 shifts that I have in this time period of me being broke. So it works out perfectly. So this was £1.65, and the whole shop total came to £23.90p. Let me just check how much I had. I had £24.23. So maths. 33p. I had 33p left, but I managed to get all of this, and I'm so proud of myself. I did it. So yeah, guys, I hope that helped. Let me know what you thought. I'm going to probably come out with a part 2 of maybe little tips that I did to survive this season. I know it sounds so random, or like if I keep setting things up. I mean, I guess a side note is just sort of like I watch how I drive now. Like AC can apparently use up some fuel. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I read that on Google. So I just put the windows down a little bit if I feel like it. Just really conscious of like, if I'm going down a hill, don't put your foot on the gas. You don't need to. Or like making sure I'm using the right gear. Not overly revving, or like keeping the car on if I'm at a, you know, highway crossing or whatever it is. So little things like that, making things work. I don't really drink milk per se. That was another thing. I was like, if I only need a sploosh every day for like a cup of tea or like a little bit on my coffee, then I may as well use what my parents have in the house. Tomato puree, garlic puree, if my parents have it, I'll use that. My mom has also said that I'm welcome to use those things, which is really nice of her. So I'm like, I'm just taking advantage of what's there. And the only other thing I've asked, like the only thing I've asked for is petrol money from my dad. That is literally the only thing I've asked for. My sister's being kind enough to give me a tenner tomorrow, so I'm gonna just keep that as a backup. But besides that, I'm roughing it out at work. No caffeine. It's hard, but I survive. And one insecurity I had, like yesterday, I had to do it without caffeine. It was hard. When I tell you, like when I sat down, I could really feel my exhaustion. I have a very physical job. But the biggest reason that I was afraid was because I was like, what if I'm not good at my job? What if I'm not sharp? And I pride myself on my ability to be sharp, but I'm at a place now where I've worked. I'm not saying that I couldn't make a mistake. We could all make a mistake at any point, and I might be more likely to make a mistake given that I'm tired, but I'm competent enough. And that was one thing I was scared of, was like, if I don't have caffeine, will I suddenly be rubbish at my job? And I wasn't. And so obviously once I get paid, I would like to, on my work days, still have one sugar-free Red Bull, just because I know it's a very exhausting job. But I realized I can survive with less, and that's been such a blessing. That's something I can take with me for life. And when you realize you can do that, it gives you a different level of confidence. So yeah, I hope that this helps you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this shopping haul as much as me. I have to go cook some fish curry now. Stay tuned if you want to see more from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.